If you follow my channel, I talk about it all the time. What's that one thing? Change. And change doesn't ask permission. Health changes, market changes, opportunities show up, crises arrive uninvited, liquidity protects during contraction, liquidity accelerates during expansion. If something happens to your health next year, will you regret not locking in more room? If a major opportunity shows up in 5, 10, or 15 years, will your structure be large enough to support it? This isn't fear-based, it's stewardship, it's leadership. And this is why the men 30 to 40 years into practice all said the same thing. I wish I had protected more capacity. Recently, I just came back from Think Tank. Last week, we zoomed out and talked about long-range thinking. Today, we zoom in because there was one regret I heard repeatedly in that room. Not dramatic, not emotional, just steady. I wish I had protected more capacity. And I don't want that to be you 15 years from now. Not more returns, not more real estate, not more money, more capacity, more insurability. And here's why that matters. You can increase income, you cannot increase insurability. And before we're done today, I'm going to show you 2 real examples inside the BYOB vault that demonstrate exactly how builders think differently about this. But first, you have to understand the illusion most people live under. Most people think like this: I'll just start small. I can always add more coverage later. When my income grows, I'll increase it. Sounds responsible, sounds reasonable, but it assumes something dangerous. It assumes qualification. You don't get more insurance because you want it. You get more insurance if you qualify for it. And most people don't find out they're unqualified until they need it. And qualification is not permanent. Health changes, and health changes quickly. Weight changes, stress changes, labs change, money changes. You don't get notified when insurability begins to decay. It just quietly does. And this is where builders diverge from optimizers. But before I show you that, let's talk about human life value. Your human life value is not static. How many of you have heard of your human life value before? Let's talk about that. If you're 35 years old, making $150,000, you have an insurability of $4,500,000. And by 45, you're making $400,000, more than twice as much. And your insurability has expanded up to $8 million. Your insurable value has expanded. If your income trajectory is upward, your insurability window is shrinking. Term insurance shows us this. The older you get, the more expensive coverage gets because your insurability window is shrinking. Your economic contribution has expanded, and your family's dependency upon you has expanded. The question is, did your structure expand with you? Or are you trying to qualify again at 45? Future you is depending on present you. And this is where I'm going to show you something very simple. 2 structures, both good. One protects flexibility, one limits it. Let me show you these 2 samples inside the BYOB vault. In example 1, we're going to look at the optimizer. Strong annual base premium, PUAs attached, flexible. As income grows, you can add more PUAs, paid up additions. This is a great design. It gives you flexibility inside the policy. It buys more death benefit. It increases your cash value. But here's the hidden assumption: you'll qualify later. Now, example 2, the same annual $20,000 premium deposit plus a 30-year convertible term. Maybe if you're older, it'll be a shorter 10 years or 20 years or 30 years, but this example, we use 30 years. What changed? Not today's cash value, not today's efficiency, future room. This individual, this person maxed out their insurability while they were qualified. They locked in the human life value capacity. Say that 5 times fast. They preserve the right to convert later without new underwriting, without new health risks, whether they got older, sicker, whatever. That's not buying term. That's buying optionality for when change happens. When I first understood this, I realized I had been designing policies, solving problems today, setting them up for the future, but not always designing capacity. And this is where the thinking splits. Again, long range thinking. If you're enjoying this video, make sure that you smash that button, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell to be alerted to new content. Now let's go back and see what the optimizer does. The optimizer says, why would I pay for more coverage than I need right now? Why would I spend more money on something that's not driving my cash value today? The builder, on the other hand, says, why would I risk not having more room later? The optimizer minimizes cost. The builder maximizes flexibility. The optimizer sees term as an expense. Builder sees term as a capacity lock. Be honest in the chat. Which have you been? And here's the uncomfortable truth. The cost of term is lowest when you're youngest and healthiest, which means the leverage is highest early. Builders think in decades. Optimizers think in months. And this is where crisis and opportunity enter the conversation. The optimizer, their structure locks in a manageable floor and a meaningful ceiling. They've got flexibility. You can add more PUAs or paid up additions over time. You can grow the cash value. You can grow the death benefit above the ceiling. This is disciplined. This is responsible, but it assumes something. It assumes you'll qualify later if you need to expand permanently, if you need a bigger warehouse of wealth. Nothing wrong with that. It just bets on future insurability. This structure assumes something different. It assumes your income will grow, that you'll add more value, your responsibility will grow, your opportunity will grow too. Instead of hoping that nothing bad's going to happen to you, you lock in 1 million of insurability today. You preserve the right to convert it partially or fully or not at all over the next 30 years. No new underwriting, no new health questions. Neither structure is better. One assumes expansion later. The other protects expansion now. Builders don't guess with capacity. We are guaranteed one thing. If you've been watching my channel, I talk about this all the time. What's the one thing guaranteed in life? Change. And change doesn't ask permission. Health changes, market changes, opportunities show up, crisis arrives uninvited. And I can tell you in our personal lives right now, there's a lot of lessons. There's a lot of things showing up uninvited. Liquidity protects during contraction. Liquidity accelerates during expansion. If something happens to your health this year, will you regret not locking in more room? We are guaranteed one thing. If you watch my channel, I talk about this one thing all the time. Change. And change doesn't ask permission. Health changes, market changes, opportunities show up, crisis arrives uninvited. Liquidity protects during contraction. Liquidity accelerates during expansion. If something happens to your health next year, we are guaranteed one thing. If you follow my channel, I talk about it all the time. What's that one thing? Change. And change doesn't ask permission. Health changes, market changes, opportunities show up, crisis arrive uninvited. Liquidity protects during contraction. Liquidity accelerates during expansion. If something happens to your health next year, will you regret not locking in more room? If a major opportunity shows up in 5, 10, or 15 years, will your structure be large enough to support it? This isn't fear-based, it's stewardship, it's leadership. And this is why the men 30 to 40 years into practice all said the same thing. I wish I had protected more capacity. Now here's the real question. Are you fully insured? Doesn't mean you have a policy. Fully insured means you've locked in your human life value while you qualify, while you can. You preserved your conversion rights. You created future warehouse space. Most people are partially insured. They started something, but they didn't maximize capacity. And that decision compounds over decades. Now, I want to be very clear. This isn't about buying the biggest policy possible. It's about aligning structure with trajectory. If you're building long range, protecting insurability isn't aggressive. It's responsible. Let me ask you three quick questions. Do you know your current human life value? Do you know your maximum insurable capacity? Do you know how much of it you've already locked in? If you don't know these numbers yet, you're guessing. Let's make this simple. There are really three categories in this room. Some of you are fully insured. You've locked in, maxed out your human life value. The only way to have more is make more money. You preserved conversion rights. You protected future capacity. If that's you, stay disciplined. Some of you started. You have a policy. You have structure, but you didn't maximize capacity. You assumed you'd expand later. And some of you are building income aggressively, but haven't protected your insurability window at all. Now, here's the real question. Do you know which category you're in? Do you know your current human life value, your maximum insurable capacity, how much of that you've already locked in? If you don't know these three numbers, you're guessing. And builders don't guess with structural assets. We don't guess with our future. That's why we do the strategy call, not to sell you something, to answer one question. Are you fully insured while you still qualify? We'll dig into your income, your expenses. What are you saving? What are your habits? We'll open the vault. We'll model your human life value. We'll review your current structure. I'll meet you where you're at today, and we'll determine whether you've protected enough future capacity. If you're building long range, don't leave that to chance. Change is guaranteed. Qualification is not. Protect tomorrow. If you're ready to evaluate your structural properly, schedule the call. If not, at least stop assuming later is guaranteed. Builders don't drift. They build deliberately. As always, blessed to have you here. I'm going to see you in my next video right here. So keep learning, keep building, keep being intentional with your life, and you'll have, my hope for you is you'll have everything that you could want and imagine. So smash, like, and ring the bell to be alerted to new content. And I'm going to see you in this next video. God bless.